Hey, I'm Adam, and if you're watching this, then I would bet that you're a musician, singer-songwriter, independent artist, producer, rapper, manager. It doesn't matter. If you're trying to get your music career to the next level, you need to watch this video. This isn't going to be a negative venting session. It's not clickbait, but I've been helping artists now for over 8 years. And with my channel being at 300-something thousand subscribers at this point, the truth is less than 500 are ever going to have a sustainable, long-term, successful music career. And there's a reason for that. Now, with all the negativity that's floating around YouTube and floating around social media, emails, everywhere you go, this isn't a video to actually bring people down. It's not meant to discourage you. If you're watching this right now, then I would say that you're ahead of the game because you're seeking advice, you're looking for guidance, you're looking for someone who knows what they're talking about. I've been doing this for a long time. My students last year alone did over 370 million streams, 170,000 tickets sold. I don't know everything. I'm not the master of the universe when it comes to this. I don't want to be considered a guru, but the fact of the matter is I've built 2 7-figure businesses, 2 6-figure businesses, had a 8-year music career myself, and I see habits, I see trends, I see patterns that if someone had just snap out of it, if somebody just slaps you in the face with a little bit of perspective or truth, everybody's looking, that can really help you move forward. And so I'm hoping that this video helps you do just that. And I appreciate you watching. So let's jump into the top 10 mistakes that I see independent artists making that ruin their chances for building a successful music career. Let's jump into number 1. Okay, so these are in no particular order, and I respect your time, so I'm gonna kind of cruise through these, but I'd love to have this be an open conversation. So at any point, if you have a thought, if you have something that maybe, oh, I did that, maybe I do that, or I've seen other people do that, and you have a way even to kind of get past it, let us know in the comments. So number 1 is making content on social media because you feel like you have to. As humans, I don't know if it's in our condition, it doesn't matter. Like, I'm almost 40 years old at this point. People that are using social media range anywhere from, I'd say, 12 to all the way up to 70, 80 years old at times. The issue is we have an inert sense of when somebody is enjoying what they're making versus somebody's making something because they feel like they have to. There's like a joy, there's like a soulless feeling. When you see something, you're like, I see what they're going for, but they're just doing that because they feel like they have to. Have you guys experienced that? If you guys have ever felt really hesitant to make something on social media, it's because you might not be within your alignment of what you want to do. I highly recommend when you're making content, make content that you enjoy, make content that you would like to see, even if it's not chasing viral trends, even if it's not chasing the big artists that are killing it right now. In order for you to find your unapologetic voice, you have to be unapologetically you and do things that bring excitement to your life. You don't make music, hopefully, you don't make music because you feel obligated to make music. Now, some of you guys who are doing it full-time, you might feel that way on occasion. When I was doing music full-time as a producer, there was plenty of times that I was creating instrumentals and stuff that I was like not in love with, and I just felt like, I gotta deliver this stuff. But when it comes to content, we're using all this content to fuel the traffic or feed the traffic, bring people in to discover you. So your content should feel like you. Your content should be consistent, but it should be consistently you. Don't make content or stop making content because you feel obligated, because obligation leads to resentment, and I don't want any of you guys experiencing that. Now, number 2 is lack of patience. Guys, your repetition creates your reputation. You have to have the staying power. You have to have the follow through. You have to have that aggressive patience to do this stuff. Guys, we're outliers. We're trying to have success in a creative career. You know how difficult that is? That's pretty freaking difficult. And so having a sustained success, 5, 10, 15, 40 years in the music industry as an actor, as a YouTuber, anything, a radio host for that matter, like a DJ, having a successful podcast, it's all outlier scenarios. If there was a straight line to it, then everybody would do it and it would be easy. It'd be like no different than going to school for nursing. You just do this and magically you're a successful YouTuber. You need to have the patience because most people don't. So if you want to be successful, if you don't want to be like most people, you have to have aggressive patience. Keep in mind, like I said, your repetition creates your reputation. Straight up. Now, you guys might not want to hear number 3, but it's not having systems in place. You know, I'm kind of a nerd when it comes to marketing and systems, and a mentor of mine years ago said, Adam, no numbers, like KNOW, I'll put it on a screen. No numbers, no business. No numbers, no business. How many times have you actually looked at your growth trajectory on social media? How many times have you followed week to week what your monthly listeners are on Spotify and figured out what your actions or how your output creates the outcome? It's beyond that too, building your email list, understanding your social growth, understanding how the content, the different types, the different archetypes of fans that could be out there that can bring income in via Patreon or Grouped or whatever platform that you guys choose. You have to understand a system is how you build. No different than you spend all of this time building a house, right? You need lumber, you need nails and screws and shingles and doors and windows and carpet and applying everything to build a house. Well, arguably it takes longer to get all of those supplies sourced than to actually build the house that then you're going to be able to live in, hopefully for the rest of your life if you choose to. And the example I gave there was you're going to be doing boring work. You're going to be doing a lot of tedious admin stuff, which isn't fun. It's not sexy. Trust me, like I get it. But if you do those things, if you build a system, the solutions are within the system. I've been saying that for years. Your solutions are within the systems that you create. If you're out of shape, you build a system to get in shape. If you're having a bad relationship and you want it to work, you build a system to make it work. If you guys want to do music, if you guys want to have a creative career, you have to have the system. You have to understand this is where I'm going and this is how I'm going to do it, even if it doesn't happen overnight. Your systems need to be developed because if you understand your systems, then you understand yourself and you understand where you're going. All right, so number 4 might be a little bit of a hot take considering this is YouTube. This is free internet land, right? And that's listening to too many differing opinions. You know, I think John Lee Dumas years ago said that the acronym for focus was follow one course until successful. And I say that because there's so much differing advice out there. Somebody might look at my stuff and say, well, this is his background and I really liked his delivery, or I get it. Oh, he's too abrasive. I don't like when he uses cuss words here and there. And I get it. The thing is, guys, if you go and you're looking for all the different people to tell you all their different opinions, coming from different angles, coming from different life views, standpoints, all that stuff, you're going to get very confused. And then you're just going to go into a productivity loop, or it's not even a productivity loop. It's the facade of productivity. It's really procrastination masked as productivity. You go, oh, I'm learning. I'm taking notes for Adam. I'm watching this guy. I'm taking notes from him. Oh, I'm reading this book. Oh, I'm taking this course. Guys, that's cool. Fine and dandy. But if you're trying to get in shape, you don't hire 5 different personal trainers. You follow one guy, one person, until they get you the result. And then guess what? If they don't get you the result, if you don't like working with them, if you meet them for a consultation or meet them for just, get to know them, and you don't like them, that's cool. Go somewhere else. Not everybody's going to like my stuff. Not everybody's going to like the next guy's stuff or this one or that. Like, it's okay. None of us know everything. None of us are the knowers of all things. There's people out there that have had long, successful careers as engineers. They're not an artist. There's people that have had long, successful careers as an artist. They're not a producer or an engineer. There's people that have helped countless people but aren't the greatest at it themselves. I never ask how far Bill Belichick can throw a football, yet he's one of the most astounding NFL coaches in the league. And I don't even like the team. That's the thing, guys. You follow somebody that you feel gets it. Follow somebody that you like their delivery. You feel like you could trust them. And then guess what? All the stuff on YouTube's free. So there's no skin off my back or anybody else's back if you go to somebody else. But that's the thing. We're all here to try to build trust. We're all here to try to help. And if you like that help, then follow that help. But you have to take action. You have to go and don't get confused. I'm getting all over the place here. Let's jump to number 5. If you're too cynical, if you're cynical at all, I'm a recovering cynic. Trust me. When you make music, when you're doing marketing, you see through all the BS. Right? So I get it. When you're overly skeptical, oh, what's this? The one thing I love seeing is for example, I'll do 1 million YouTube videos for free and then I offer something for paid. And people are like, oh, you're just a scammer. Like, what? What? If somebody that you watch on TV, an athlete, a talk show host, they come out with a book, are they a scammer because it's like a price? I don't get it. I have signed up for countless courses, a couple of them complete shit. But these things have helped me. I've spent a boatload of money on mentorship and coaching to help me. They were all good. Aside from, like I said, there's a couple courses kind of early on without me knowing what I was doing that were not great. If you just think everybody's out there to fuck you over, just take a 9 to 5 and just take a chill pill. Because you're just putting yourself in a place of misery and frustration by thinking that everywhere you turn, somebody's just out to get you. They're not. You're not that special yet. There's some people that are out there with the right intentions. There's some people that are out there with the wrong intentions. I would argue that almost every record deal that's out there is for the wrong intentions. And there's a ton of evidence all over the place, floating around to show that. So I'm trying to help you guys as independent artists and musicians get to the next level. If you're not going to open your mind enough to say, I need help, if you're not going to open your mind enough to say, like, there's good in the world, there's bad in the world, and it's up to me to navigate that, cynics and overly skeptical people never succeed. Aside from having one of those like trash talking YouTube channels and podcasts where they just like try to tear everybody down, they could find some success there, but they're just going to burn all the bridges along the way. Just like I got some stories I could share with you guys. A couple people talking mad trash about me, and then they needed me for something years ago in the industry because one of the A&Rs was like my good friend, and they were talking trash, and they didn't get the thing because they were talking about me and we were friends. Like, guys, the music industry is not that big. So I'm not saying you have to be friends with everybody. You don't have to be friendly with everybody, but at least like just try to be open-minded. Being cynical, being overly skeptical is just misery in general. So try to avoid it. Now, in the same breath, number 6 is surrounding yourself with small-minded people. You know, I have my afflictions and challenges like everybody else, but the problem is I had some really awesome friends that are still friends to this day. And then I had other friends that went on a different path that was pulling me down. And I tried to bring them up, but you can't spend all your time pulling people up because who's going to pull you up, right? You don't want to be the only dreamer within your group of friends. It's like, what is it? Crabs in a bucket, right? When a crab is trying to escape the bucket, the other crabs will inherently pull that crab back down. It's like, I don't want to sit here and say that don't surround yourself with losers because like that's very subjective. How people live their life, if they're happy and not doing damage or hurt to other people, cool. Like I don't care if somebody has money. I don't care if somebody's like popular. I don't care if somebody like has nice things. I just like uplifting, optimistic, dreamer people around me because I have crazy ideas. I have multiple businesses. I've tried multiple businesses and failed miserably with a few, had mild success with others. Did music full time myself for a little over 8 years. Made a bunch of money and had a bunch of fun and then went deaf in my left ear. And then, here's the thing. My friends, the circle of friends that I still have to this day, I could name them probably on my one or two hands, right? I always say that my circle is tighter than my wedding ring. And that's how I think it should be. When you put yourself in negativity, when you put yourself in a circle where people just don't understand, that's going to pull you down, right? And so I'm not saying that you have to cut them all off and never talk to them again, lose my number, block, but just distance yourself. And if you're not currently finding people that are dreamers, then put yourself in different environments to find those people. Find the people that believe in what you got going on, are excited about your crazy ideas, and that uplift you rather than pull you down. That's all I'm saying. Now, before we jump into number 7, I want to take a second to talk about something that a lot of musicians struggle with. They start making music, they start getting their product to a certain point where they're excited for the world to listen, but they don't know how to get it on Spotify. They don't know what button to click to get it on Apple Music. Well, my good friends over at DistroKid have a perfect solution for you guys, and they're sponsoring this little segment of this video, and I want to say thank you in advance. But guys, go to distrodiscount.com. You guys know by now, DistroKid is one of the big boys in this space. They've constantly improved their support. They've listened to the feedback that you've given them, and they have all the tools that you need to get your music out there, be heard. A few marketing tools that are really cool for social media as well. So like I said, DistroKid, distrodiscount.com for the best price anywhere online. And thank you to DistroKid for helping me with this video. Now, number 7 is ultra straightforward. It's only going to take 2 seconds to say. It's not following through on the things that you put on your to-do list, the things you set out to do. The follow-through is everything, guys. Like, how many times have you started a project, started a song, and then it just like rots away on your hard drive, rots away in the voice memos that you had? Like, here's the thing. Somebody told me this years ago. The last 10% of anything worth doing takes as much energy and focus as the first 90%. That little follow-through is what differentiates the people that make it and the people that don't make it and almost make it and could have made it, woulda, shoulda people. Because the number one thing that I see all these artists and just people in general is they're failing themselves. They make this promise, I'm going to do this. I'm going to start going to the gym on Monday. I'm going to eat healthier. I'm going to crank out more content for my music career. I'm going to do this and do that. And then when they don't, they justify it. Well, XYZ excuse, fill in the blank. But if you do that long enough, you're literally letting yourself down, and then you don't trust yourself. And then you feel anxiety, you feel overwhelmed, you feel frustration out of nowhere for no reason. Because a part of you knows what you're capable of, but the majority of you knows that you're not going to do it. So just start following through. That's all I got to say there. All right, so I know that this video overall has been a lot of mindset tweaks and stuff that we have to make, but here's the thing. Number 8 is something that we've all struggled with, and that is getting addicted to buying gear before we're really proficient on the gear we already have, thinking that better gear is going to magically make better music, it's magically going to make better videos, it's magically going to make us more successful. As somebody who has wasted a ton of time and money on gear that I didn't need, I can tell you firsthand, it's not going to do much for you. Like, use what you have until what you have pays for what you want. If you have found yourself as a gear addict, such as myself, I'd love to know in the comments below, but let's jump to the next one. I realized that in this video, I've been talking a lot about like camera gear and audio and all this different stuff, and it leads me kind of beautifully to number 9, and that is ego. How many of you guys, if you're still watching at this point, I'm sure I pissed off quite a few people by now, but how many of you guys are like, I didn't sign up for I didn't sign up to be a marketer, a business expert when I started making music. I just want to make good music. Good music will speak for itself. Like, I don't hate you guys because I get it. I used to be like that like years and years ago. I was like, why is nobody paying attention to me? Why am I not making any money? It's because of ego. I'm so good at this thing. The world needs to see how good I am at this thing that I refuse to be the Swiss Army knife required as an independent artist in this year and beyond to make something of myself. Because in order to build a fan base, people have to first, it's very simple, but it's not easy. They have to find you, traffic, attraction. They have to build a relationship, or you need to retain them, and then you need to convert them. If you refuse to open your mind to the skill sets, kind of like I was saying before, it's going to be very, very, very hard to have any shot at anything outside of the norm that I think we're all trying to live outside of, right? Because you're a musician, you make music, you're not normal, I'm not normal. Like, come on. Like, we all have our own different thing, but like, we gotta let the, check the ego at the door and open our mind. And that leads me to number 10, is thinking that you're going to be able to figure out everything by yourself. That you're just magically going to discover the skills and the tools and everything that you need to get to where you need to be. A lot of people are proud. A lot of people are, again, full of ego. And this is the thing. I'm not just talking about the music marketing and music business stuff. I'm talking about anything. If you want to be more emotionally intelligent, so many people say, hey, I go to therapy. And I think that that's amazing that we're now in a society where that's openly talked about. Mental health is openly talked about. Because as a musician, as a creative entrepreneur, this stuff gets very dark sometimes. And I think some people that get cynical and stuff, it comes from that frustration. It comes from those dark moments that we feel like nobody understands us. And so here's what I'm encouraging you guys to do. If your pride, if maybe a little cynicism, skepticism, maybe if fear, maybe if ego have held you back from asking for help openly, asking for guidance, asking for leadership, asking for a mentor, asking basic questions to somebody who can answer those questions and save you time. Like I said, I'm 39 years old. That's what all these grays are for. I trim the sides real low because it's like white at this point. The fact of the matter is, I wish I would have asked more questions. I wish I would have sought after more help early on and not waited so long to sign up for online courses or get mentorship or read books. Admittedly, I've probably read a third of these. Some of them I've cracked open, but the fact of the matter is, we have to look at how something can help us move in the direction we need to faster, because time is our most precious resource. Guys, let me know which of the 10 resonate with you the most. But here's the thing. If you want to save some time, I'm doing a live 2-day training for free called the Boost Your Fanbase Live event. It's going to be me. It's going to be other friends. We're going to have a VIP section. We're going to be doing a ton of things for 2 days. I'm going to walk you through the path. I'm going to guide you through the path of how to build a profitable music career. So if you can let a lot of these things that are holding most people back, if you can let those stay at the door, kind of leave those behind, and you want to join me for an awesome it's free 2-day event, then go to boostyourfanbaselive.com. I'll put a link in the description box below. This is going to be awesome. I got my boy Billy helping me with the event. A couple very exciting guest speakers that are going to come through. I'm not going to name them yet. Everything's locked in. They're in the calendar, but I'm not going to name them yet. If you haven't yet, click that little subscribe button. Watch the other video. I think is going to give you a lot of guidance, a lot of perspective. Join the channel family here. Like I said, click that little like button if you haven't yet. And I appreciate you watching. I'll see you in the next one.